Yeah, lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Got up in the morning, took a shot, that's the rock. Girl, you left my stomach in a knot. Took my lighter and you burned the bridge. Thought you was a writer, no, you just an idol. You got me feeling like Big Sean in this 5, 4, 3, 2. I deserve a minute, wait a minute. Gotta get up and over, regain my composure. No longer my lover, finally finished and you did it. Girl, you really showed me, think with your heart, don't think with your body, clever. Sorry not sorry, sorry not Justin Timberlake, write me a river. Lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You try to convince me.
Nah. Good night, everybody. Sorry couldn't be here last week. Had awful back pain. I couldn't walk. Wasn't mobile at all. But I'm here this week. And listen, I'm disappointed I couldn't be here last week too. Because oh my god. I wanted to talk about the 15% then time, but I'm gonna get to put in a little 2 cents on the 15% this evening. Joined this evening by Reese. Reese, what's going on?
But I go there, I can't complain. You know what I mean? Just moving and grooving, taking blows as usual, way and all it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Everything good and in a good mood. I feel like the cultural bug start to catch me. So I'm
Yeah.
feeling good. You know what I mean? I hope I can get 15% too, but until then,
I glad that it started to hit you. What exactly triggered the vibes there? You feel like it's
no,
just that time of the year?
I want to tell you what it is. It has nothing to do with the cultural committee. It has nothing to do with the efforts that has been put forward by the committee. It is me realizing that I can't allow nobody to dictate how I feel. Because if I have to wait until these individuals do something for me to be excited about, yo, I might be like a duck. You know the duck, yeah? Exactly. So I got to make me own joy, you know? Yeah,
Okay.
man.
So this evening, we're gonna discuss a little bit of sports. We're gonna talk about the Constitution. If you don't want to hear about the Constitution, by tonight might not be the one for you. Um, and then just some other little things are going on in general. I feel like the cultural armor is a nice place to start. That's a nice, positive, friendly space to start. Um, Reese, have you ever heard of a contestant being sponsored by the Cultural Armor Committee? Somebody's
No,
going in for a show and they're sponsored by the Cultural Armor Committee.
so no, and it should not be that way. You can't have the governing body of an event being the one who's financially supporting an individual and expect our fair share. Even if the individual does good and actually deserves to win, it's going to all be tainted. It shouldn't happen.
Um,
It probably has happened before, but it should not happen.
okay, well, listen, I you see, and Adele is well schooled in these things. Adele would let us know that it has happened before. I only mention it because when I look at the health of the Mr. Cool show, the show that they say that they have revamped and I haven't heard them actually announce any new thing to go along with this revamping of the thing. But the entire show is basically sponsored by the government. Somebody sponsored by
Mm.
agriculture, somebody sponsored by cultural foundation, somebody sponsored by cultural armor, somebody sponsored by water department. It's sponsored by the government.
Mm.
So that tell me that they went around looking for sponsorships, and people was like, "No, we ain't gonna be able to do it." In which case, well, they're introducing a costume segment. How, how, um, Reese, in your history of culture, any prominent male costumes jump out to you? Is that a thing that?
No, there's no male
Oh,
catcher
really?
that jump out to me over the years. But with that being said, IDC said they're bringing out some speedos, so that might be the costume.
Okay.
Yeah, the roadblock
Okay.
speedos. So you never know, but there's no male costume that ever stands out. It's usually just a pants and you got to have your shutter, you got to have a vest, and you're gonna go party. But I can't think of any male costume. You know.
Um. Okay.
Well, hold on. I lie. I can actually think of male costumes, but I haven't seen any names. But for the bigger carnivals that I have like King of the Band and stuff like that, they have like these big ass, big shit that I have going on. But in Nevis, you really haven't seen any.
So so maybe that's the revamping they did for that show. Well, I suppose we will see if the public was calling for a male costume segment in Mystical. Maybe I didn't get that one. Because sometimes the ladies and then I just got a different meeting. So maybe at the meeting I decide bye. I'll be wearing with a costume. You understand?
I guess. Well,
Yeah,
I can't
I
see
I
that
do.
being a cold puller. I can't see that being an improvement to the show.
Um, I have seen photos. I think the premiere would have gone touring. I'm still kind of concerned that there is finishing touches taking place at this late juncture. They were asking for manly looking, talented men. Oh my god, I must say, okay. Alright. So Adele, would that mean that they were getting feminine looking and talented men before? What was taking place? What is happening?
Boy.
Shouldn't we abandon the show? I think that if I think the reason why sponsors not put their money behind it is for a particular reason. I feel like the reason why sponsors ain't putting the money behind the show is a similar reason to why people not putting the money behind Geothermal. You just got to watch the work. Um, you have any concerns about construction going on this late into the process? This late into the time?
Um, if it's finishing touches, then I could understand. But if it's actually full blown construction, then that's a problem because it won't be completed in time. Unless you want time, you're gonna have people working until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night to get done. It's too late. The biggest issue is that we knew that culture drama was coming from last year going into this year. Every year, we know when culture drama gonna be, Every year, we know when Joe Money gonna be. We know when Parade gonna be. Every year, we know it. We could tell you 2030. We could tell you when we're gonna be Juve and we're gonna be Parade. So we had time, ample time to prepare.
Well, um, even Culturama 49 we've been talking about Culturama 15. So, as you say, it's not like we didn't know, but even last year Culturama, Then man been a pay outside the complex for the opening, eh? So you get to drive and walk from fresh start. Hopefully them man gonna get in that this week. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like them man gonna win all
Hopefully
eleven.
they're gonna get in one. Fresh start, they got
Yeah,
preview road again.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's rather concerning.
At least a little patching, man. Trust me.
That's concerning.
Trust me. It's necessary. Um, Reese, have you been watching the Copa America? Have you
I've
been
been watching the
following the
Copa.
Copa America?
I've been watching the Copa America. I have been watching the Euros, and of course, I watch the T20. So I'm
Okay.
ready.
So you're aware that America got slapped and is out of the competition?
Yeah, America is not a talented team.
But you realize all of the CONCACAF teams basically get slapped?
Yeah,
There's only
because
two
they don't.
remaining?
Yeah, but they don't. When you look at it, and we have to be honest, right? When the Copa, when you start to look at the countries that you're including, you're talking about the Central and South American teams. Their level of ball play is way ahead of the CONCACAF teams. We ain't gonna show a quote and make it seem like, oh yeah, no, it's a huge mismatch. We can't compare them. Them guys ain't ready. America take blows. So the Jamaica don't have a sink his knees. Just a bunch of blows. It's embarrassing, really and truly.
So, okay. You see how Abby attack so comfortably about Jamaica getting slap up, about America getting slap up. How come when me come and me talk about Singers and Nevis are gonna get slapped, me try disrespect the football association?
I
It's
don't think
kind of basic. It's kind
I
of
don't think
basic
it's
to understand.
disrespecting. I don't think it's
Oh,
disrespecting. I think we live in reality, and the truth is we do not measure up. We're not going to make it, like we're not going to make it seem like you're playing in a cup with Brazil and the World Cup winner Argentina and some of the names that these teams carry. You're playing against Uruguay, Venezuela, Colombia. What are we really thinking? We barely could get a player to get shipped out. You're talking about the entire team that's outside of the country playing in Europe in the toughest leagues. The entire team that play outside the country.
here's the thing why I realize though. Even though Sinkits and Nevis, we might not get the offensive talent, but still at the same time, if you discipline enough and you could hold some kind of solid structure, you could get some kind of result out of these games. No? At the very least, you ain't gonna get embarrassed. When you're supposed to get 4-0 against Costa Rica, then, for example, with a solid structure.
Yeah, Costa Rica team no bad enough. You know. I'll
Man,
tell you. I'll tell you what the issues. The issues when we look at a lot of the Central and South American teams, we compare them to Brazil and Argentina. So if they're not on that level, then we say, okay, they're not really good. But if we take Brazil and Argentina out of the mix, the South American teams, if we don't compare them to Brazil and Argentina, they're still pretty good in comparison to the competition that they got in the rest of the league.
bro, I saw Costa Rica play against Brazil, and Costa Rica
Again,
did not. Hold on. Just hear what I'm saying. Costa Rica did not shoot a ball until 70 minutes passed. We wasn't that bad against Costa Rica. We at least getting shots. We could figure out something against Costa Rica, but I'm saying from a discipline and a defensive standpoint, that's where we're not gonna structure. That's where we
so
lose. That's how come we get in 4-0. And you ain't supposed to get embarrassed.
so where do you think the shortages? Where do you feel like where's the disconnect? Why is it that we don't have any structure? Is it within the local federation as in terms of team playing in St. Kitts Nevis, or is it as you start going up the ladder, that's where it breaks down?
No, it's within the local structure.
Okay.
Because the local teams are not good. The local teams are not good either. even some of these teams like down SK where you will hear them and talking about like this is a Premier League team. Chances are that team they barely scoring 2 goals again. The difference down there, alright. But as far as the goal scoring, we ain't got that kind of talent down there. And I ain't feel like we ain't play an underdog style either. You understand? You got to also play with an underdog structure and understand how to win in kind of game, man. If you understand what I'm saying. Listen, Slovakia for example. Slovakia ain't gonna call to be in the game with England. But because they got a solid structure and everybody understand what they're trying to do, they ain't gonna get embarrassed against England either.
But you know,
And
I'll tell you one of the things I noticed, right, is that our players are not comfortable possessing the ball. So as soon as they get the ball, they want to pass, right? And then
indeed,
it's not like any pass where I gonna pass it. It's like a give and go pass. It's like, yo, I pass it to you, but don't look back at me. Don't pass it back to me. I don't want it, and that's a problem. Whereas when you look at some of these teams, where you see these guys playing in like a triangle. You will see Di Maria pass the ball to Messi, and Messi pass it, then it come back to Di Maria. Everybody want the ball. Whereas within our structure, we don't want the ball, and that's one of the biggest things. Even the defenders, when they win the ball on a contest, first thing they do is boot the ball forward. They don't want to pass the ball. Nobody wants the ball.
indeed. Well, yeah. There is no, and that come down into the foundation. Because
But is it?
I wouldn't even necessarily worry about the shooting. As you said, for me, is the passing. We have awful, awful pass accuracy. But you could still win a game with them kind of pass accuracy then in
Yeah,
the
but Alan,
70s.
you know why? You know one of the things I realize too. We don't play. We don't play anticipating football, right? So we won't make a run anticipating that the ball will come to us. We don't wait until the ball comes to us to start moving. And a lot of players, if
Indeed.
you see them without the ball, they start up with their hand on the hip. And they take a little jog, but they ain't really looking for the ball. They're not looking for the pass. They're not cutting. They're not moving without the ball.
And you see, this is why I mentioned the discipline that is necessary. Because when you really watch these teams who are playing, um, as soon as we have the ball, you're supposed to create space, you know. Is when they got the ball, you're supposed to kind of bunch up or cut out space, you know, particularly in the middle. In the middle, I could understand congesting in the middle, you know, them kind of ways. Yeah. But when you got the ball, you're supposed to be a create space. You're supposed to be a create passing lanes and so. Yeah.
But 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 another thing too, and you know what? You don't want to say it. That's what the biggest problem really is. The biggest problem is a lot of the players that we have in the local leagues. They make it to a level where everybody know the name. And when everybody know the name, you know what I mean, one of the two, one or two, three girls and get them a little bit of something, and they feel good. They feel like they make it once they get to that level. So a lot of them don't necessarily look like they're focused on the advancement of the game either. They feel like they make it.
No,
Oh, I score 6 goals, and everybody know my name, so I good, I happy. When you look at the level of training, where you see some of these guys put in, in Brazil, in Argentina, in these countries, trying to really make it. We don't even do that. We don't wake up in the morning to go running 6, 7, 8 miles a day. Some of these men don't run to practice and then go train.
well, my escape partner tell me that that is not the problem. He said that the women in St. are now the problem. And he said that the women are dragging down the standard of the football in St. He said, whereas before time, you also had to actually score some goal, you know, defend a ball, you had to do something to get a woman. He
Mm.
said, no, all you got
They
to
gotta
do,
be on the
I
team.
got, not even got the team, you got the team close. You smell sweet perfume going in the game and coming out of the game. And you got some of the best of the best. So the
See,
ladies in single need to pull up their sock.
I was waiting for you to say it, but I realized you didn't want you didn't touch it, so I just said I didn't touch it because I know that was the part of the problem. I don't see it.
morning shift. Well, oh yeah, and next part of the problem is laziness too. Because when you look at the amount of running, if you cannot run for 12 kilometers in 90 minutes, you ain't qualified to be on the field. You must leave. You have to leave now. Ain't gonna work if you ain't got that time. We need that type of energy.
And that is
Um,
the minimum. That is the bare minimum, right?
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
You got some bird in a Nevis named Piwitata.
Mm.
Okay. Now, I feel like the Piwitata, for example, right, would be a better national bird than the pelican. Now, here what I say to
Okay,
you, right?
I want to hear this.
When you watch them bird, right, the territorial, they defend their own, they click up in a groups. You would see them there run big hawk and thing, you know. Can't stay in the area, you know. Them they would have been a better symbol of like unifying, you
Mm.
understand, and protection and them type of circumstances. I only bring up that bird there because how them bird they be is how we need to play football. Ain't about no one man. We ain't gonna have the talent of them team out there. That's one thing we got to understand what taking place. And so it got to be a collective effort. We got to get more energy. We got to do more harassing overrun the heart there. Out of Arby territory. So then we could stop in there and be the bully. You check it out when done. But we got to
But
work
here, but
to do that
here's
we need.
here's another question, right? Prior to doing a lot of these vigorous activities, a lot of these big countries that have like real medical teams, right? Them and they run like real EKG, run complete blood work and stuff like that. Do we even do that before these players go out there and start to get active? Because you tell me you need
We
a
are
man to
not,
run 12 kilometers. You need to make sure that the man heart can handle 12 kilometers, right?
I do not think that we are all the way there yet.
That's a problem.
I don't think we are all the way there yet.
Because if a man goes out on a pitch for whatever reason, he's representing the island. And we've seen it in football many times, where people pass out and even some people have died on the pitch.
Mm.
Then then what? Then where does that blame fall as well? Because and that's what people don't understand. When it comes to sports, there's many capacities in which has to come together to work for this whole thing to work. Yeah, everybody plays a part.
Definitely. And because it's football and you could be 16 and be on the team if you're good enough, I can't even say I assume that it's all adults and them type of thing. I would just have to hope that this was caught before you reach to that time.
Hmm.
The 2020 World Cup. You have any thoughts on the 2020 World Cup?
Um, we witnessed the end of an era. There's some great players that we will not see again. I cannot see Rohit Sharma coming back. I cannot see Virat Kohli coming back. I cannot see David Warner coming back. Quinton de Kock, they should be last. Some of those guys from England, they should be the last. So I cannot see some of them coming back. I think we kind of witness the end of an era. Some great players will gonna be on their way out, but also um, West Indies. I want to say the disappointment, but I want to say a surprise. Like I could I couldn't put no money behind West Indies because I know at some point they were going to fail bigly, and they did at the wrong time. So I wasn't surprised that West Indies. I was what West Indies put out.
In all of the big players where you say we not see again, I can't believe you not say Russell.
Yeah, yeah. Russell's out. Yeah, Russell definitely out. And he had a great career. We ain't gonna act like he didn't. He never contributed, but yeah, he done it too.
Who, who,
The captain for what you
who,
call it for Pakistan. He done too. We ain't seen him again.
no, he coming back. What you saying? He like 30 or 30. I feel like 32 or so. You coming back.
Me ain't gonna come back. I ain't gonna lie to you. But where you say who?
Who better, Russell or Pollard? All time. T20 all around. You could only have one.
Wait, including everything, both bat and ball?
That's why I said T20 all around.
Russell.
Okay. Okay. So you feel like Russell climbed to higher heights than Pollard?
Yeah, Russell.
Okay.
Because I feel like even when you look at it, Pollard was the better bat, yes. But Russell wicket taking ability, especially at the end of an innings, Russell bowling is like amazing. For somebody
Yeah.
that when he came in, he wasn't really that much of a good bowler. The man has worked on it. Man bowling is good.
Okay. Well, you don't talk about the on the field. You know me like to watch the off the field. Now here's what I learned about on the World Cup. The BCCI. This is the Indian Cricket Association, basically
Mm,
running cricket.
okay.
Um, India came over. They were basically based in New York for the first three games. They decided
Mm,
they come over a week before they do what they want. They play all of the group stage games in North America. Nobody else do that.
mm.
So they only reach Caribbean for the Super 8. All
Yeah.
of India's matches were at 10:30 a.m. We ain't having no negotiation. We're playing 10:30 every game. Work out our match, but we are. I when I was Slatina for 10:30 a.m. all the time, including the final. Final gonna play 10:30 just in case I don't know. They also had a clause. No care what happen. Once they reach the semi-final, they're playing in Ghana. Then okay,
Oh,
what do you say? We playing
I
in
didn't know that.
Guyana. We could be the first or the second. Okay, what happened? Our one gonna play in Guyana. So
Why
I just
Ghana?
noticed that Guyana spin. How them gonna lose?
Okay.
How them gonna lose? I am happy that Guyana.
Okay.
So I just realized that India run cricket and on and off the field. Congratulations to them.
Can
Mm-hmm.
can I now say something about India?
Go ahead.
India got too much damn talent. There are players that India did not pick that in most other teams would have been in the starting 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, Tilak Varma, KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan. But this man leave like they had quality players that they did not pick. That is how far ahead these guys are of everybody.
Yeah,
These guys
people just be far ahead and win one.
no,
All be
but
far ahead.
listen. At the end of the day, every 4 years, when it come down to you got to show up. It's not about the names you have. It's who show up on the field. It's just like Coley ain't really show up for the World Cup, yeah? But the last game,
When it
when they needed him, he show
when
up.
it when it comes to T20 World Cup is every 2 years, huh? And man don't get the next one line up.
So, you know what I mean? But India got too much talent, boy.
The next thing what I would like to say, and this is gonna sound kind of harsh, as I know that there are young persons. I am not comparing them to international standards, but Reese, I was looking at some scorecards for the Renaka Morton Primary School Cricket Tournament, and Reese, they are awful.
Mm.
Tremendously bad. I saw a team made 122 runs, and out of the 122, 50 something of them is extras. And
Why is that no box?
I'm talking about 35 wide, 15 no ball, and maybe one or two leg boys. Not even leg boys. Wide and no ball them on a board.
Mm.
If we was to get 52 extras for an entire tournament, I would be upset. That would not be good to have that for an entire tournament. You cannot have that for a game. It is not good.
Mm. Yeah, that
And
one is
and
tough. That one
and
that
I
one is
am
tough.
not,
That one is tough.
as as I say, I'm not comparing them to international. Me not compare them to no other island. Me a talk about when Abby were playing primary school cricket. You could not do that. And whereas you may have thought, well, that's an anomaly. I say, man, let me go look through some scorecards. That is a common trend. 40 something extras. Extras is leading the tournament in runs scored right now. And ain't close.
Wow.
Ain't close. So I would hope that the authorities are taking note of what is taking place, and they're doing something to counteract.
So here's the
All I
question: is it poor coaching or lack of discipline by the children?
I would want to believe it's a combination of both. Because if they had the proper fundamentals, I don't feel like that would be happening. And regardless of what happened, whatever coaching you do, the players do have to go there and execute. So I ain't gonna put
So
it in anyone else.
here's a question that I have for you, right? So back in the day, a lot of people was playing primary school cricket, especially was working towards a lot of things, right? Man wanted to make Leeward Island team, Leeward Island under this, Leeward Island under 19, blah blah blah. Is it that in recent years we haven't had much representatives making it to those teams that a lot of people don't feel like they need to keep pushing because they feel like this feat is unobtainable at this point?
Um, well, and primary school mostly you're trying to get in under 30, but there are even more avenues now because them man introduce under 17 now, so you're under 13, under 15, under 17, and under 19, and then if you really get you, I think Carlon and man, I can't recall the half spinner name, but two man from Nevis in Ireland right now. So there are avenues to go with this cricket situation. Um, even America now. America don't qualify for the next T20 World Cup, by the way. So they are getting involved in this cricket thing. I would think that it's a mistake to feel like there are not avenues that you could explore to cricket at this time. One of the stunning things that I don't understand what the organizers doing. I don't know why this is a 15 over tournament and not a 2020. Let them young man feel like them a play 2020. If they could bowl 15, I don't understand why they can't reach 20. Under 13 is a 20 over tournament, at least when we was playing.
So the question is, all right, so 15 of, yeah, it should have just been 20. It should have been a 2020.
Yeah,
Put it into something that they could they're accustomed to see.
indeed. Um, I also feel like it would familiarize them with the format more. It's something what they already seen. It just, to me, make the most sense for it to be uh 2020 tournament. I don't know why they decided they're gonna just keep it to 15 for this time. One of the things what I would like to applaud them for is that I heard games are being played all over the place. You got games in the park, you got games up hard times, and you also got games over VOG, and I feel like that's a good thing. I
But
don't understand why they
that's how
do.
it should be.
Yeah,
Because I remember we play St. Thomas's a year and it's over. Can't go and play.
definitely. That's why I was going to say, all
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
work that has been put in by the special advisor for the St. Thomas's Parish, I would have thought that games would have been played over at the Cotton Ground. That we hear how much so much work has been done on that, but BOJN getting a shine. I feel like it's better. I, in so many ways for the players and them to play in different environments. Breeze does blowing from a different section. All of it, man. I feel like is a good thing, and I would, yeah, that's one of the positives. Another thing I mean like is the fact that since I see the players struggling, for example, bowling wise, it tell me also that they need repetition. So when you're gonna split up a competition with 8 teams into 2 zones and minimize the amount of games that they play, I also feel like that is a mistake. And how must I put it? You need to be able to focus in, if you're an athlete, really and truly, you're supposed to play multiple sports. Because if you play football, you're supposed to do some kind of running. Whether it's distance or sprinting, you're supposed to be competing when sports day is taking place. And the same way, um, if you play cricket, you're supposed to be a run too. Mm. Some people special and they could play half. I like I think Trev. The man they could play all the sports and but generally you're supposed to be doing multiple sports and not just necessarily not be able to participate. I feel like it's overloaded. And then next thing, I don't really want to hear nobody talk about I'm overwhelmed with schoolwork. In a primary school, yeah, it's primary school work, right? You know,
I would do. Oh, my. I'm here choking out about it. Man, overwhelmed. What do you mean?
um,
But I agree though, you should be able to play more than one sport.
yeah,
Especially because the way how our sports are set up where every term you got a different sport. If you engage in more than one sport, then you got a better chance of staying active.
and then generally, no matter what is the circumstance, as may I say, all the sports gonna lead back to track and field.
Yeah.
There are gonna be traits that are gonna be applicable to multiple sports. If you're gonna play basketball, to me you still gotta be on the track team. No care why you're supposed to be taking part, as me say, in the track aspect of the thing. You ain't got to be spectacular. But my God, you got to go there and do something. Yeah. Really and truly. In certain like universities, once you're doing certain sports, you also up on the track team. That's where you find like especially like them wide receivers. Me not say it's gonna be applicable for everybody, but even some of them like bigger man, couple of them I might do like shot put, discuss throw, you know what I mean? You still got to be active within the scheme, man. And that's
No,
what I mean.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I agree with that.
Additionally, um I feel like we've done a good job presenting the athletics, but
Mhm.
I,
You know,
and then
it,
use your body, and
you
then
know
use
the
your
rest
body
of
things.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, I, I feel like we've been doing a good job putting over the athletics, but we need to give the cricket and the football them same opportunities. And I feel like there's also opportunities if this thing is done in the correct way for it to allow us to build a couple of stars, couple local stars. When you look on Kelron's son, for example, and the things what he achieved in a running, them man supposed to got like highlights packages ready for when this man race are coming up. And it is no different in any of the other sports. You
races
get
supposed to have highlight packages ready for.
you ready for like okay, say he race a come up,
Uh,
right? In the same way when in the Olympics when them man go
run.
France now.
Uh,
When Lyles then go run, there's gonna be a Lyles package. You know, trailers as come first in this. Them are gonna get the US Olympic trials package, you know what I mean? Everything will
mm.
be combined into one. So all of that goes in and then you also have the narrative. This is what he's
How
trying to achieve. You
Here-
understand what
Here's
I'm
a
trying to say?
question though. How old is he right now?
Wow. Everyone sir?
Yeah.
I think he getting a first round.
Okay. So I get what you're saying with that, but what I tell you what they need to start doing is they need to the same package you're talking about, but they need to start comparing this package and start sending it out to outside entities,
That, that's what
preferably colleges, so that he could start having eyes on him.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be implemented even further back, but we just been use that as like somebody who
No,
is
no,
like
no,
a
no, no.
norm.
I know.
normal.
No, I totally understand. I totally understand. Yeah, but yeah, that's one of the ways a lot of colleges are find about people, when you send out them tips.
Mm. Um, Sticking on the NNC thing, I've been hearing some buzzing down at NNC. Hearing that King this and that is at NNC. I don't know if you have seen the new show called Government at Work.
No, I
Um,
haven't seen that.
well, there was an angle that the premier's ass was not being kissed from, and it is now being covered by the new show Government at Work. I think it is hosted by this and that. I have also not seen the show
Okay.
as I have not been thrilled to see all the different ways that we could find to stroke the premier's ego. So I decided to pass upon that particular viewing. Um, I also hear that they have some other persons, some other new faces down at the network. Um, Consultant. Oh my god. Um, Consultant. I'm not sure of the particular position, but some
Oh,
persons from the Cayman Islands
okay.
have joined us down at NTV. So I'm gonna look at the quality or the direction of NTV closely over the next couple of weeks and months to see if anything has changed down there. Particularly with the paycheck what I hear that they get on.
Mm.
Yeah boy. Yeah
The
boy.
picture
Me
gives
feel
in
like
the
them
picture gives in the East or US.
boy, as long as it ain't in a Cayman dollars, then better don't make no mistake and tell them do it in a Cayman dollars, cause Cayman dollars higher than US dollars too.
Okay. You just been
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah. Well I would want to believe that that they secure the thing. Oh my god. Like as I said, anybody should be government, not now. Everything you can say so. Me sure the baby don't come out the hospital. You know, I talk about the division of primary school cricket. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, the fair share. Um, the premier been a talk about the fair share. And he is being patient. Okay, he said it's nearly 2 years now. August is gonna make 2 years since the day when he sent his first letter to Dr. Joe asking for a fair share, an assessment, or whatever the hell they say out.
All right.
Um, my thing, what we need to understand about this fair share thing is only one thing. More. This man broke up a government, right? But he still would have been up to this very day. He still would have been in government with the unity if he had been broke up the government. He do all of that there because he said we ain't getting a fair share and it's time. I can't take it no more. To go give and next man 2 years to consider the same thing. What he said done there. What may I miss? How can he broke up a thing what he in? What he could talk to the man? Never mind he say he not get where he be Jew. He still say he not get what Jew. He just not get what Jew. From Dr. Joe. We still not get what Joe. How can he got patience with a man who he just campaign again? What me I mean?
Well, but he campaign against you. Me not feel he campaign against you. I feel the
Reese,
focus at Davis.
I have the 2022 manifesto on my phone
Ah,
with the joint manifesto with Pam and CCM on my phone. When they if, if you campaign with Pam, if
yeah,
CCM and Pam campaign, who they campaign
yeah.
against?
Oh,
Would you like
oh,
to enlighten me?
okay, I feel you. Oh boy, listen. The man figure, the man said, listen, this is going on, I still gonna be in and you gonna be out. You want this? The man went on, the man let him know. Listen, I gonna mash it up and I still gonna be in there. The man just let him, the man just shut him. I'm a bigger boss than you. You out. That. I think that might have been an ego move. And
So,
that's all he was focusing on. Tim, listen, you think you're bigger than me? Watch ya. He was gonna kick you out the
so
door.
he walk out. So he walk out. He gonna be a king, even if he gonna be the king of the ashes. He gonna be a king,
The king.
regardless to what.
The man went to prove a point and he proved a point.
I don't understand how you got patience from outside, from what when you been in, you say, "By this, I got to happen now." This, watch it, right? Imagine you there with this woman. You say this is the best woman. This is the best a woman ever cheated. Best. You check it out. No, she ain't going all the way with you. You check and you pressuring she. You let she to know she have until this time will give you. Otherwise you done with she. The time come and she decide she not give you. And you come out of the relationship. We go be patient with somebody else. When you say you got to do it, we don't know how to do nothing. Oh my god. Pull out my headphone and that. You ain't had to do nothing. You ain't had to do nothing. I don't understand what going on with my boss and this fair share. You broke up where you been in. Anyway. Um let me see what else me gonna talk about. Cultural. Oh yeah. Did you see the attractive airline offer? You can now fly from St. Croix to Nevis. From St. Croix to Nevis the ticket is $330 US. From Nevis to St. Croix, the ticket is 350. So you pay $680 for a return ticket for Culture Drama. How does that?
You really don't talk about culture with me, boy. So let me talk about it. Since we talk about it, that is humanist. That is humanist, right? The price is entirely too high. All right, the price is entirely too high for that short distance. Entirely too high. That's one.
Anguilla,
Uh,
Anguilla offering 250 return trip from the same Virgin Island. 250 return trip.
250 the entire trip.
Yeah,
Okay,
return.
cool.
Go
That
and
that
come.
that that makes more sense to me, right? The second part is you wait until the very last minute. So you're not really serious about it. You just wanted to do something. You free? Because you were serious about it. You just start this on the beginning of the year so people could have planned accordingly.
They said
Yeah?
that the airline said the trip needed to be loaded.
It's the 50th. You can almost could guarantee. The Virgin Island, the nearest population in the Virgin Islands is strong enough that you could get your flights loaded. So if you were serious about it, you could have done it. Because remember, when they campaign, they don't go down there for a reason. Just keep that in
Indeed.
mind. When they campaign, they go down there for a reason. They don't go Antigua, but they go to the Virgin Islands for a reason.
Um, do big crowds at music festival indicate that the economy is doing well?
Huh?
Do big crowds at music festival indicate that the economy is doing well?
Does music first indicate that the economy is doing well? No.
Yeah, big crowds.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to. This is a big
You
argument right now.
want me to tell you something, I mean, no?
What's that?
And a group of girls, right, from St. Martin that went to Music Fest. And they went VIP
Uh,
and all the tickets were books.
that's inaccurate.
Yeah, okay. So if you give her the ticket, if you give her the ticket them, how you gonna show that it was it's successful? A lot of ticket they give away. Don't mind when I
Boy,
see the big crowd them, a lot of free ticket there. The girl tell me, Reese, I meet this man, I don't even know who he is. But he's so proud to tell me he's part of the music festival committee. Give me free tickets for VIP.
yeah,
He just glad to say, I am a part of the committee, take this free ticket. And she said the way she
sounds
comes to the way she comes to where she went back.
sounds
Okay.
accurate, man.
Just wanna tell you.
Um, the premier said we need more people. Um, and my
Need more people
question
in
is
terms
how
of what?
we need
Population
more
size?
people. Yes, he said we need a bigger tax base.
I agree.
He need more people to tax me.
Mm.
He said that he had a conversation with some young ladies, and they said no amount of incentive to make them have more children at this particular moment in time.
Oh,
What do you feel is the reason behind it?
oh, that not sound right. That make no sense. Listen, let me tell you, I
That
tell you, you know how the children making things, nigga, it's only a handful of man that get children. Huh?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's only a handful of man that get children. So what
Okay.
happens is they keep the same set of man in rotation. You just got to wait until the man come back home to them. All that happen. Don't worry about them. Them lie. Them lie. Them lie. Them lie. Me not say
Uh,
that. Me not believe that.
but the man was literally up there sounding like me talking about historical birth rates and shit.
Me not say that.
Um, and confirming things they've been saying about when the population went down and so it's the same population we basically got. We
But
don't go up.
I do feel that we do need an increase in population. I totally agree. Um, I think we need to
So
strategically plan it, but we also need to develop infrastructure. because we can't wait until we get these people to say, okay, well let's go work on this. For example, we got an entire coastline that is untouched, pretty much from Prospect going all the way back to Saddle Hill area. But then back there, that's just completely untouched. We could develop back there and start to deal with things correctly.
Mm-hmm. I've been doing even full up the front of the island. And I want to go behind they go touch things. Um I still wanna know why you think young women are not interested in
No, they
having
interest.
children.
I tell you, they interested. The right man just no reach yet. The man where they
Or
don't
the
want no reach
right
yet.
or
Yeah,
the
that
right man?
I tell you, it's only a handful of man. I tell you, that get children. I tell you how we go. They just wait until the rate one come wrong. And then when the rate one
Okay,
come wrong, then you're gonna hear grandmasters wrong man are playing the background go 3 years after. What know about that?
okay. You know what happened? I'll play your game, sir. What are the characteristics of Mr. Right?
The characteristics of Mr. Right, me no know, me not the right man.
Oh, you ain't the right man?
No, me not the right
Oh,
man. So I go tell you what it's not. It is not Reese.
so it wouldn't be financial, it wouldn't be ambition. You have no
You know,
characteristics that this
you,
right
you,
man have.
a lot of times that's a lot of times popularity. A lot of times a name.
Popularity.
Yeah,
So all we have to do is create more popular men, and we
that's
will
a
have
lot.
more children.
Again, I
I
tell you,
I think that one of the factors that the older people are not factoring in is that the younger people are looking at you guys, and all you guys want to do is hold on to the power and hold on to the money. Meanwhile, their position is generally eroding. I keep on saying this thing when we talk about the government needing to build low income houses. That's because people can't buy them themselves, which means they ain't got the money. And even when they go a music festival, go enjoy themselves, politicians still gonna take picture of them and say, look at this. Why you gonna tell me the economy now go good? So they still gonna try it in your face. And you only have a music festival that spend a little money, but when you need the $200,000, that are the thing what really gonna impact your life on them type of level there. And there. So I feel like because it was even spoken about how in the old time days man been get like 12 children or so. But man had land, you check, man
but
had house, man
when
had
you say
things could
man,
have books.
no, hold on. When you say man, when I get 12 children, you're talking in general like the males were getting like a bunch of children.
Yeah, you
Like,
know,
like
then like we talk about like in generation gap and
yeah, but
not
that is
in
different thing
generation
because
gap because
yeah, but that is different maybe because back then nobody not take you under the clock when you get 15 children. Huh?
you see all of these things are social realities that have changed. But I want to step on the material reality, which are your old people just holding up on the thing?
So you think that the
Understand what I'm
government
saying?
should put something? You think that the government should put something in place that after you hit 25, let's say 30 years, working for the government this time for you to go home. So our next batch of people could come in and start to progress.
I feel like just how them are comfortable like telling certain civil servants that by I reach 62 and it's time for you to go home, that the politicians should get something. I'm telling you. And as we get on this, because I wanted to speak about Joe Biden and Donald
Jesus
Trump.
Christ.
You
Jesus
see, you,
Christ.
you see, you see these two old guys that we have up here. This is an example of what I mean when this thing goes a little too far. And right now, even though you see them, I make fun of Biden. if Trump get in office, Trump gonna be older than Biden when he come out here. Trump ain't got really too much more left up there, but he holding it together better than Biden right now. And I also wanted to talk about that because I know the premier didn't take offense of like when we was talking about like old people in politics and so. Now, let me just clear up something when I said about the premier. I never attack the premier money. I always say you got money. You got more money than Nevis. Nevis will be broke, sir. But you're gonna be good. No, the next thing why I ain't attacking about the premier is he old. Even though he got the titty then and he got it and he little flabby, around the waist. Me not say you're old. I mean your ideas and concepts are old. You have an analog mentality. You understand? You and Biden think the same way, but it's just that you're more collective. You could get speech. You know what I mean? You still maintain that populist verve. You know? But you're not old, not yet. You know? So I just wanna make sure that the premier understand. It's not you like you greater than me, I concentrate on. It's your mentality.
So okay, so here's the thing. What do you think should be the cutoff age for politicians? 62, like how they do with civil servants?
Yeah. They feel like that good enough for the rest of the civil service. Why not there?
Well, that's cool. I'm not
Yeah.
against it. But I tell you what I do feel I do feel that after age 25, let's say it's 30 years. If you after age 30 years of service in the government, you need to go home. One of the biggest problems that we have is a lot of people coming out of school with no jobs available to them. And the reason why is because people can't move up to these jobs so they could come in at entry level positions. And why they can't move, because when you look at the top, you realize, well, this person been in the same position for 15 years. This person been in the same position for 10 years. So if you don't keep everybody moving until you move out, then at some point it's going to become stagnant and you will not have
Oh,
any place for anybody.
oh yeah. For the young people them who say they can't get a job. The premier said that the person who own the call center said they can't get a people. And my God, i- if I one thing I agree on with, at least like if you can't get to the way you want, I don't feel like working in a call center is all that bad. I don't think that that's a loss. You could work in a call center until you can figure out what the hell you want. Because
No, definitely.
them man say them are import people from Dominica to work in the call center. You could believe that. To work in a call center? That's all.
Right? Some people they think certain jobs below them, eh?
You just
So
go talk. You just go you just go talk. Take a call. You're gonna do it anyway. So it makes sense get some it makes sense get some money for that.
yeah.
Mm,
No, me here say you want
okay.
this about the constitution, and I'm here with panel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this really and truly is about the 15%.
The 15% of it.
Okay. Okay. First of all, let we go to Parliament. The premier did not watch Parliament. He said he was told that his ministers performed well. So he
Oh,
was not there. He decided he not watch. Um, Raging narcissist, innit? Um, me not been like how the government put out the information with regards to Parliament. And then man said they're introducing a bill. Are they reading a banking bill? And when you look at the end of the day, they man increase property tax. That was nasty work. I'm gonna do better next time. You can't tell the people that you ever discuss a banking bill and then out there they say, remember property tax kind of nasty work. Don't like it.
is that
Um
local or federal?
no local.
Okay,
Nevis Island. Nevis Island I said
okay.
it. And I apologize that I was saying that I and I going never discuss nothing what affect people. Once again, I was under the impression is the banking thing. But then I come out there with higher property tax.
Did they say how much property tax went up?
I didn't watch it. As I tell
Oh,
you,
okay.
a banking meet them about that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so they catch me. Um, the 15% to the parliamentarians. Okay. Now, the first question why I got about this 15%. How how come how come when Tim gave the 15% that applied but not the recent increase? Me not understand what take place with that.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh, when Tim gave the 15%, right? The government had to end up take 10. They didn't take the final 5. But really and truly, Tim been announced 10 and essentially they take the 10, what Tim said. They did not take the final 5 that they gave to the civil servant. When the recent 8% came up for civil servants, they ain't get neither neither civil servants, nah themselves. But all I'm asking is how come Timothy Harris won at the upper? I would like to know what was the distinction there, so. In particular, when one of the arguments were coming out of this is that Janice now turned down the race when it looked like he was after the race and be like, yeah, you turn on down. So I just need to understand what taking place with about that. Um, and I also want to know if like there's some kind of distinction that I'm not aware of between parliamentarians and civil servants. So, for example, I am willing to understand if you say that when we are now civil servants get a raise, that does not include parliamentarians. Them under some kind of different scheme. Although all of them are essentially civil servants in the mind
Mm,
and in actual effect. All of them are
okay.
civil servants. But if you want to tell me parliament is a separate section of the civil service where you deal with differently, I'm willing to understand that part there. But I need to know. The next thing which is confusing, it sound right that the ministers sat down to discuss whether or not they need a Perez?
Does it
With
sound right?
with input from the Ministry of Finance, I'm not gonna say without input. But does it sound right that they sat down to discuss whether or not they need pay increases?
Where you need some kind of discussion. So yeah, I guess they had to do it that way, even if it's just as a formality.
Okay. I say that because in Singit, for example, there is a salary review commission. So it's not just that you are sitting down as a boss and saying, well, should I give myself a raise? If me the boss and me ask myself, once again, applying the same logic that the premier is asking the nation to apply to Janice Daniel Hodge. When these ministers sat down to discuss whether or not they should give themselves a raise, what do you think was the answer that was going to come out of that?
Well,
And and
I am pro money, yeah? So how
okay,
me operate.
and that being the case, wouldn't that be need to have some kind of independent body? The premier does consult about consulting. Remember when them man give the people them money to do the quantity surveying. Them man end up go consult to find out who they could go to who get another set on. So them man don't consult about consulting. How them can consult about this too? Yeah, Loretta, that is essentially my question. Not even legal. Is it moral for you to sit down to discuss if you're only a separate?
Okay, so hold on.
I
Let's hold
understand.
on. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
Right.
So within this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, as we have seen, there's a difference between Sakers and Nevis,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the civil servant part of it, I guess that could have been handled. That could be handled locally, right? The payrolls should be handled locally. The issue that we have here, and what we're not speaking about is the fact that every time a government go in, nobody want to change nothing. So let's really talk about it. We need to when these governments go in, they need to start making decisions, not keeping things the same way. When last you really hear legislation, somebody actually introduced legislation that is actually impactful. We don't get it. When last we actually went in and you hear somebody talk about like an electoral legislation, we don't really go even nothing important there. We don't just go in and nitpick about that kind of thing. Everybody has had an opportunity to be in government in the last 25 years. Everybody.
Mm,
What have we seen within the last 25 years? What have we seen that has been major, that has actually changed? What constitutional change have we seen? NRP benin, CCM benin, PAM benin, PLP benin, Labour benin. 5 parties. Everybody don't touch it in the last 25 years. What have we seen? Let's talk about it.
constitutionally, no.
So then, if we're going to keep everything the same, then why are we complaining? That's the problem that I have. If I go in and I realize, oh, the way how I lose to Alan the last 3 times is because Alan buy 6 pair of shoes, I gonna put the line in place and say, yo, you could only got 3 pair of shoes. Let's deal with the thing. Nobody wants to touch it because everybody's afraid. So if you're not going to change anything, then we got to accept what we get. That's the problem. Nobody wants to really see what's going on. If we ain't gonna make no changes, so if, for example, you go in and I say, okay, well, bye, look like when Alan them come in, Alan gonna say, bye, you know what? I've been out of government for a while. Let me want to take a big risk. Let me put a cap. So in case I lose, when they get in, they automatically cap. Let me cap it. Nobody want to do that. Let's start putting caps. Let's start saying if you're going to have raises, the raise could only be X amount. And saying that into legislation, it could only be 2%. You could only get 2% raise. But nobody want to do it. But they get still
Um,
complain. What are you complaining about?
I feel like in Nevis we got the opposite of America. That in Nevis, at least like when the Republicans said they're gonna do something, yo, them not gonna do it. But I feel like in Nevis we got two Democrat party. As far as they would say, by by yeah, we need to make this change, we need to make that change. But when them are actually getting power, as you said, them man ain't necessarily do it making the changes we're gonna change people and material condition.
Okay. So then I
A-
don't
And
understand why you
and
complain.
and I feel like I would be interested to see a party where actually go in there and do something to see how that they would really affect the political atmosphere.
Like I can give you a good example, right? A great example. I've been saying this for years. One party said that the other party win election by flaying in people. Okay, cool. So how about when you get a chance to go in, well, let's just say the legislation that you got to be living in St. Kitts to vote. You can't be outside and coming to vote. We never change the legislation. But everyone say, yo, them are only win because they're flaying people. Well, you wanted them to win because you know that's how they win and they used to change shit. So what we talking about?
I feel it. Well, listen, that would got to that could only be federal
No, but
to
I
change
understand.
that party.
But I just using that as an
Mm.
example, right? It's there. Nobody wants to change shit. We just want to
Well,
complain. That's how
listen,
we do.
I don't even really feel like I don't even feel like there is a situation where we should wait because as I said, I feel like certain things need to be litigated. You understand what I'm saying? For example, I feel like if the premier don't follow certain procedures with this 15%, then it is possible that you could sue them man and beat them man for this 15% being illegal. I feel like there's a time frame where that's possible.
No,
But
and
some,
that may be true. That may be true, but who's going to
mhm.
take out the financial burden of filing the lawsuit?
Well, listen, sir. I'm not telling you anything perfect, but there's only two ways how this thing gonna change. Is either essentially we are going to wait for somebody to do it from Parliament, and we have a long history to see how long we will be waiting for that. Or these things are gonna be actually tested in court. But those are the two avenues to get this thing changed. If you see what I'm saying.
No, I understand. I totally understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. I get what you're saying.
Um, he had certain things what the premier said what was kind of offensive. I don't like when the premier just tell like a straight up, like bold face like. I don't like that part of it. And especially from the fact that I have defended the premier certain time when, people will go overboard. I was saying, no, lad, man. In a do that day. 1% less worse than what the US said also, at least. So you're going to take off that percent there. The premier, for example, he said that's part of the reason why they are doing these raises is because permanent secretaries in some cases are making more money than ministers. That's a lie. That's a big lie. They're not supposed to be said. And hold on, me only say he lie based off of the budget. The audited reports, the audited budget that we just boast about and all that anything. So if I lie, I'm lying with the highest security. I'm lying endorsed by the premier himself. You see what I'm saying? Um, what yeah, that next level you even say. Um, the only PS were coming close to the ministers is the PSF finance. What the shot money? The shot little man. Weekly, Mr. Daniel, he don't come close.
Mm.
He, yeah, he hardly he 10 a month. Yeah. But like even if you was really to look into the inconsistencies, like special advisors and them making more than a lot of people. Special advisors and them just under the ministers. The junior ministers making as much as the deputy premier. When we're talking about if there's inconsistencies in what taking place. So no. Next question I want to ask you, right? If you come into a job and the position was given a pay increase, you receive an increase?
It depends on the structure of the job.
Okay, well let me give you
Because
the scenario.
because yeah.
Let me give you the scenario. Tim announced salary increase retroactive. Janice coming in couple months later, December, right? Janice coming in make the increase. Janice get an increase or Janice you just get it?
No, well, in that case, she just getting paid. It won't consider increasing her book because she come in after it.
Cleon would I get an increase because she been in there.
She shows in there. Yeah.
Listen, man, I just feel like, and this is how come me upset. It's sickening that you have a meeting. You're not even set that you know. If you been come out and he said he discussed it with the opposition. That I can't say the leader of the opposition. He discussed it with the opposition to get their input. He could have even say he discussed it with the president to hear what a perspective be and all them kind of thing there. I could have see it. But you sit down and got a meeting with yourself, in which case we don't know you're gonna come out and say, but yeah, I want to take a and you still gonna blame Janice. I said, yo, you know how vexed this man get me? Mr. Premier, nobody ever in on a line who get the money. You not going on a line who get the money. The check done down there. We elect all of this thing how come I tell her the man all them with the analog mentality, you know. Right now you ain't going on a bank. You log on mobile banking and all that kind of thing there. You transfer. You put up your phone and all these things taking place. Um the next thing, Carl, listen, right now we're dealing with like some misinformation. Is it possible that there is a raise and you could just deny your raise like so? You could just decide me not collect that part of my salary there? This is making any kind of sense?
No, me no feel so. No, me no feel so.
You just collect wherever the raise be, you just collect the money, right? This is
Yeah,
standard practice what we're talking about, right?
yeah.
Um and watch out, this thing was so sickening to me. Is me is the only person. Yo, CCM, yo, I going outside right now. Is me is the only person comment underneath the post. How come I ain't got nobody comment underneath the post? I need to get better than that support I prepared. But anyway, you can't got this thing like talking about Janice has been collecting like she went in and she tell them I got the 10%. Okay, me I go collect mine. What be you talking about? If this thing was like so that mean the civil servants could have done gone in and tell them man boy. Me don't know why be here talk about with no peace, so give me mine one time. I saw here talk about the thing. What we doing, Mr. Premier? I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, Luis. I don't feel
No,
like I don't feel like this is where the politics supposed today. And also another
wait,
piece
wait,
of the
wait,
nasty.
wait, you mean you don't feel like that's what the politics supposed to do? That's what the politics
No,
are always been.
no, no, I want better.
Happy
No, I
politics never
want
been
better.
clean. Happy politics never been clean yet. You understand
No,
now?
no, I would, yes, I would like better. I would like better. Let me guessing it's a new Wisconsin. A new Wisconsin.
Me never know we had good politics yet.
Oh yeah, another issue that I have. Well, oh no, the premier would have cleared up that part. You know, he said that they could have either increase to keep parity with the federal ministers, or they could have increased to keep parity basically with the local, with the civil servants, right?
Which did they choose? Local or the
They,
federal?
yeah, they choose local. Federal must have been a 33%, you know.
Okay.
So they say they choose the local. Now, I'm looking to see if that mean is only 5% going up on what they get now, if they're gonna put it on 15. 'Cause if they put it on 15, then that means they would get 25. And I also don't like the fact that the premier said that they have not benefited from any of the raises. Abby don't have a show, Abby don't show all of these things. These things is in the estimates, you know. these in the estimates who say when the raises and then went up, when you reach 2023, you see the 10% gone on, it done gone on already. So is either I gonna put on 5 and stop lie and say I don't get nothing yet. Put on the 5 alone, I gonna put on 15, in which case it's gonna be 25. And the next aspect of that is if we're really gonna do it in parity with the civil servants, if civil servants take it piece by piece, in which case, in order for equal rights and justice to prevail, I would got to take I on piece by piece. So how I want to come in with immediate effect and people go wait to them piece by piece. That doesn't sound like a equal rights and justice. That doesn't sound like a parity. That sound like I do as I say, not as I do. Don't watch
No,
none more as a
no,
matter
that
of fact.
no, that is that no, no, that is different. That's like me share your food and then when we don't eat your food you don't eat, no, okay, time for me to eat. Nah, yeah, me understand that, man. At least me make sure you eat first.
Section 69. Section 69. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Dr. Daly was attempting to say something about these parts of the Constitution as well. Section 69 of the of the Constitution says all revenue or other monies raised or received by the government shall be paid into and form a consolidated fund. Okay, that's the necessary part of that. Very simple. Now the money what they collect, that there is the consolidated fund. Next section
Yeah.
deals with withdrawals from this fund. And it says no monies shall be withdrawn from the consolidated fund except to meet expenditure that is charged upon the fund by this constitution or by any law enacted by parliament. And all what that means is like, for example, the constitution would say people on the public service commission supposed to get paid. That money there, for example, come out the consolidated fund. As per the constitution. When you got the appropriation act, even like housing and land would say that they're allowed to pay employees. That is a law enacted, so you could go according to the law. Um, where any monies are charged by this constitution or any law enacted by parliament upon the consolidated fund or any other public fund of the government, they shall be paid out of that fund by the government to the person, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, number 3. No money shall be withdrawn from any public fund of the government other than the consolidated fund unless the issue of those money has been authorized by or under any law. I mean, I got to read nothing else in other section there. But essentially, if you're going to get money out of the consolidated fund, you're going to spend the government money, you got to be in accordance with a law that has been passed already, you got to go in there to pass something. Okay. Now we reach down to the part when we feel like the premier going to come in parliament over do something. Authorization of expenditure from the consolidated fund by the appropriation law. The minister for the time being responsible for financial costs to be prepared and laid before the National Assembly before or not later than 60 days after the commencement of each financial year estimates of the revenues and expenditure of the government. That there is basically saying you got to write the budget within 60 days. When the estimates of expenditure have been approved by the National Assembly, a bill known as the Appropriation Bill shall be introduced into the Assembly providing for the issue from the consolidated fund of the sums necessary to meet that expenditure, and the appropriation of those sums under separate votes for the several services required to the purposes specified therein. So the money gonna be spent according to the bill gonna be read. Now, this year the one specifically what I do with it. If in respect of any financial year it is found that the amount appropriated by the appropriation law to any purpose is insufficient, or that a need has arisen for expenditure for a purpose to which no amount has been appropriated by that law, a supplementary estimate showing the sums required or spent shall be laid before the National Assembly, and when a supplementary estimate has been approved by the Assembly, a supplementary appropriation bill shall be introduced into the Assembly, providing for the issue of such sums from the consolidated fund and appropriating them to the purposes specified therein. All of that long blah 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 means that essentially, when you do the budget, if there is any amount of money that is not included in the budget to be spent, that you decide in the middle of the year by I need to spend the money and it was not budgeted for, it was not accounted for. Like for example, minister salaries, which are already set in the budget. If you going to add on anything on top of that in the middle of the year, you're supposed to come with a supplementary estimate, essentially, saying this is the amount of money that I have spent, or this is the amount of money that I will need to spend. And that's supposed to be argued in Parliament. And then if you go according to that now, then everything is officially 100% legal. This is as far as my understanding of the thing. I would say to you, right, tourists, in this particular instance, I would assume that if something wrong with this, Janice would have to take up the mantle and challenge it in court. Am I wrong on this? Is that too much responsibility? She's a parliamentarian.
I'll tell you something. I understand the challenging in court, but
Speak to me.
I don't know if anybody is willing to take on that financial burden. I think the challenging in court is not a bad idea. You know? The financial burden is the problem.
But
I think that's what it's coming down to. That's what it's gonna break down to. Are you willing to spend? Because remember, if she take it up right now in the next 2 years, 2-3 years is election, you're gonna need that money.
You know that normally, unless you're wilding out to the maximum extent, if you bring this case, you're only gonna be paying your lawyer really, even if you lose.
Yeah, but if you're coming after me, why would I want to just have a one day court case? Why would I not want to drag it out? Because the longer I drag it out, this is more you're gonna spend.
You could drag, you could attempt to drag it out however long you want. If as long as we are arguing on core issues, the provisions what we're talking about are, I think, piece of 69, 70, 73. It would not, I can't see it being an exhaustive circumstance. I can't see
If she wants,
it passing this
if,
for long.
if she wants to take it up, it'll be at her at her call. But I want to point out something to you.
Go ahead.
You realize how archaic the Constitution is somewhere by?
In terms of
No, just the entire thing, like
the
the entire Constitution
language,
you revamping here. Yeah, just
The
even the
language.
language. We don't use the language. Like it's just some archaic, but we just need to upgrade the entire constitution. The fact that our constitution is 41 years old and we are independent for 41 years is a problem. We need to update our constitution. The constitution is supposed to be like a living document that continuously is updated. We got a constitution for 41 years old. The constitution older than me, by.
I feel like the English there up to par, boy. Maybe it's me. He got to be me. He got to be. It was awful.
No, we need to start making some changes to this constitution and actually start working on things that make sense. What was working
Um,
in 1983 can't work now in 2024. We got to start making some changes. Update the
but
thing,
you
man.
know
Do
that.
the thing right.
But you, but you know that this is basically the same thing in America. I guess the language might be slightly different. I don't want it slightly different, but this is basically the same thing as in America.
No, I understand that. But then you also do understand that the US Constitution is an ever evolving document. Like they're willing to go in and actually attempt to change things. We don't change a damn thing. Sorry. We don't change a motherfucking thing. Nothing.
But but the
Not a
United
fucking
States,
thing.
but the United States is also. I mean, it's been from 1776. Huh?
Listen,
So
if
so so
if
they
they if
so
they
they
are covered that
also.
too, Jesus Christ, we'd still been like, we need to start making some modifications to our thing, man. For real.
Oh yeah, the last thing what I've been want to talk about, because Miss Hazel Brandy, I think, also put out an article concerning this. This is because there's another thing called warrants, and it
Okay.
says if it appears to the minister for the time being responsible for finance that there is an urgent need to incur expenditure, no provision exists for that expenditure in any appropriation law or other law, and it would not be in the public interest to delay the authorization of that expenditure until such time as a supplementary estimate can be laid before the National Assembly, then you could issue a special warrant, and then you could get that money there that way. But I don't feel like I would dispute whether or not they could do the warrant. I feel like if they went the warrant way, then that would have to be illegal. And me only say it gotta be illegal because then what would be the urgent need to give the ministers 15% in the middle of the year? I do not feel like they would fit into the criteria there. So if it's a special warrant, if it's that case there, trust me, Janice would got to do something. She would have to. She would be compelled. And by the way, them man will just go back in and change it back to 15 at the end of the day still. But
Change back to 50 with back pay.
no, I don't feel like they could do that for them man, lad, man.
Just yeah, you just never know. You know what I mean?
God, the premier did go out of his way to make sure that he said that he wasn't retroactive. He said he's from June. Oh yeah, the next part, what I didn't like, right? They made the decision to increase the pay on the 8th of May. They did not announce it until the 19th of June. So he knew during the May press conference, and he still ain't saying nothing. What kind of backwards transparency them man really try give away? That's transparency. How would that sound?
Wasn't
How would that sound to you?
no that should have been in the press conference. I agree. I agree.
And
It should
and
have been in the
and
press
this said
conference.
and this is the next thing, right? Miss Daniela Thompson, I still love you. You're still a wonderful journalist, okay? But I got to pull up all your socks.
Okay,
This man
let me
can't say them. This man can't say them things there, and I in asking him about this kind of thing. How you could get that from the media?
hold on. Let me ask you a question though. So you say our parliamentarians receive this raise. So does that include Janice and Cleon?
Yes.
All right. So here's the problem. Here's the issue now. If we realize that this ain't been said, and them get paid, how come them not say nothing either? Because they could have bring it to the fore. They did not have to wait until the premier come with it.
They ain't get paid until. Remember when I say
As long as,
effective, hold
well, as
on
long
and
as
let me
it's
tell you
new.
what. But I answering your question. Let me answer. They ain't get paid until they not even get paid. They not get paid until last week, no. The end of June, no. When me tell you it become effective June the 1st, then I get paid June the 1st. They get paid June the 20 something. Then I get paid till after he make the announcement. Then I know.
Okay,
Until
so
he
here's
says
the
so.
so here's the question.
They,
Do you think
he
that this was
know.
done blindly? No, hold on. Do you think that this was done blindly, or did they know, or were they given note? Do you think they were given
He
notice that they're
ain't
gonna get a
had
period?
no he ain't had no consultation with them. He ain't telling nobody.
I
It
want
it
a boss like
it,
that.
it,
Give me 15% and don't tell me. Just drop 15% me way. I want that. Tell a boss. I say just drop 15%. Don't tell me. Just straight. I gonna take it. I don't feel nobody just blindly give nobody 15%. Somebody had to know. And nobody ain't say nothing. Somebody had to know. So the fact that
but
nobody ain't say nothing is a problem.
Reese, hold on. You not understand who been no. You really not understand. He say who was at the meetings, you know. They get thing from Ministry of Finance, and then is the government ministers.
Uh, Alon, I get what you're saying. Alon, so you're telling me that these individuals just receive 15% without any notice that they're going to get 15, they're getting a pay increase. You
None.
want to tell me, you believe, do you believe that? That they just see 15% on the paycheck. They just see a big number just show up on the paycheck. Their cost on they get 3,000 and it went to 4,000. That's all to the blue. You believe that?
They were told that it was going to happen the week before.
So why they ain't say nothing?
That
He had already put it out?
Reese, okay, let me slow down.
No,
And
did he
here
already put
why
it out?
no,
So then they should have come with
he
it.
not
They could have make it bigger. Once they found out, they were supposed to come with it and try it out.
Reese,
Don't wait until he say it.
Reese, how they could find okay, how could they have known before he said it?
But you just said that they were given notice. You just said that. That was I asked you, were
I
they given notice prior? You said yes.
I I told you the notice that they were given is when he came to the press conference and said it. That was the notice. You see that the same thing. What Reese the notice they were given the same way how I was given notice. I watched the press conference and I was told that is the same notice they were given.
So everyone
They
found
were
out that they
paid.
said that.
They were paid
Mm-hmm.
officially because you seem to think that they were paid before. I'm telling you, no. The decision was made before. It was known by the ministers for 6 weeks. They knew of it 7 days before they were going to be paid. How could they have known before he said so? You tell me. They were not paid before he said so. How would they have known?
So they just get the notice 7 days prior to them getting a paycheck. I wouldn't have mind being in that
Notice.
position. I
I,
take
I'm,
15. I take the 15%.
but you see,
But
you're not.
I agree with you. It was handled incorrectly. If they only know 7 days before, it was handled incorrectly. If they only found out 7 days before, and if they only found out through a public press conference, then it was handled incorrectly. If that is how they find out, then it was definitely handled incorrectly. They should have been given some farmer notice.
And I can't
Even
say that they were blamed. Only Janice was blamed.
no, and even
And
if you say that, even if you say you don't consult them, you should be given some farmer notice. Even prior to the public knowing. I agree with you.
it, it would be the correct way to handle things. But well, I can't say if Cleon was given any notice because Cleon is not mentioned at all. She is neither attacked nor even just mentioned as somebody who is just there. But he had no notice. Um,
Yeah, if that's the case. That's handled poorly.
and
That
that's
was
how come
handled.
me I try
That,
to tell,
that
and
was
that's how
handled very
come me I
poorly.
try to tell you.
Yeah,
That's how come me
public,
I try to tell you.
public notice is punishment.
They basically discuss the raises with themselves. It was basically the ministers sit down and then man watch one another and then say, I want a raise. And all of them say, yeah. And them say, well, how are we going to do the raise? Are we going to do the raise like at the federal and go 33? Are we going to try doing smart 25 on them so that we could tell them I'll be able to do 15? Or we going to just take the 15 with them? Uchu. Because I've been all on watch. And me try tell you, Mr. Premier, me try tell you, you're going to get with the general public by telling them permanent secretary and more than minister. You're going to tell them lie there and get you. You might even get you and you tell them, Lord, me not get no raise. And all them kind of thing there. Me not been taking none away between you could get you with tell them kind of thing there. But I watching to see. I know what your raise gonna look like if it's only 15. You're going up to 170 something thousand a year. And if you put on the other 15 and know which part you're going to, definitely including in the opposition. Cleon and Janice are going to see them pay. In an opposition leader, you know, so the two of them are going to see them pay. Same raise. But I feel like regardless of if this payment is legal or not, it's definitely immoral. Mr. Premier, nobody really believe you what the pay raise, man. You can't go to the hospital and them kind of things in the condition where they be and take the raise they justify it. When me hear Big Lay start about that, the Big Lay say, boy. Big Lay say when he hears that, he say Ireland. Ireland. And then Big Lay say he had to say oh me ass. No, Mr. Premier. Ireland. Is me had to come out once again and defend the Premier and say, cause people ain't understand how hard the Premier guys think. You think when the Premier in the airport in London, Los Angeles, New York, he doesn't see things in there. Why be he wanna buy and bring back home? You feel like the 15% they can't bring the chocolate or the watch why be he need. I remember about these hard decisions where the premier got to make. You understand? I feel like I feel like 150 US dollar sacks just by themselves. 15% will help will make sure that RB Premier is looking fresh and got the right set of socks then for next election. You understand? The Premier does be wearing $10,000 over music festival. And I wanna grudge the man he 15%. No. I got to pull up our socks with the internet. I got to pull up our socks. He done a pull up his socks. So I will pull up our one too. Mr. Premier, I wanna give you a little advice. I don't wanna see no more of them suits there for Culturama. I hope that music festival is the last place you go and you wear these suits. You are the king douche every time you wear these suits, man. It is 100 degrees, bro. Give up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? If you
So
still want to do
what's what the linen suit
it,
them
yeah, them linen suits, bruh, fam. It's not happening. Okay. I you ain't gonna be like me. I know you ain't gonna embrace the 100% cotton, you know what I'm saying? But them shits is not happening, bro. You need to get out of that. Dr. Drew was looking more free up than you. You need to get out of that. The people can't get no sex to you anymore. When, when, and you can't say that. You can't say that. And Mr. Premier, you're playing a dangerous game with these people, taking picture of them and talking about that mean the economy good or not. Cause that mean if them man want get you to you, when you keep something, them man not go. If a data way be gonna take away you know things tight. One these things you gonna keep something and nobody gonna go in. And at that when you gonna start to believe bad. Mothers, yeah. And you need have drinks and give it. And end up had to really get them when nobody come. Who pass by the roadside may not give them a drink so that they don't spoil. Don't play them games with people, man. And stop spending people money and tell people how good things because the premier himself they go up on the podium and say, don't watch what people are do. Sometimes people just want to get off a little stress off of them. You got people on up and play, no? Music festival, that's the highlight. That's it. The man decide by they're gonna be in the country and they're not gonna leave. That's them man international thing. Very good. You can't judge them man and say well because them man gone that mean they got money. That what them man save up for all year. In my opinion. But I've been wanting to talk about Anguilla Summer Festival, Boy Anguilla Beat Have you seen the concierges? The virtual concierge?
No, me see the concierge. And I see the virtual concierge. I'm see the ones that they got stationed at the hotels.
Anguilla is offering something that like you up them app is an app where you don't want to get. Cause then you link up with the concierge them and give you places where you should go. Them and give you travel tips. Them man link you up. Even the deal where be them man do with flow. Where them man got the thing who help save your data and all them kind of things there. But big up to NIA. I get $20,000 more out of flow. Them man get a better deal than I. Don't be wrong. Them man kill you in the overall deal, but I get $20,000 more. And you know what good about Anguilla too? Anguilla get flow and digital. Man, Anguilla is doing shit, man. We need to learn. Mr. Premier, you got a lot of office down in Anguilla, man. Keep some Anguilla ideas, no man. Keep some Anguilla ideas, man. Like again, Anguilla for one festival, man.
Yeah, but
Nah,
you
like
see, the problem is that the people who got the ideas don't want to get on the chances, so they got to continue to suffer. If you see Angola Festival Board, there's a lot of youths on it, you know.
indeed,
They overseen by an elder, but there's a lot of young minds in there calling a lot of shots. And then the elder
indeed.
just gonna sign off and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You know,
Mm.
Angola Juve at the end on the beach and he goes straight into a beach party, that is free.
Sensational.
I just wanted
Sensational.
there was a year Angola Juve ended on the beach and then Destra and Beanie Man perform for free. Not $1.50, not a quart, not 10 cents for free. Destra and Beanie for free.
I was seeing that whoever win the talented team getting a trip to Disney
And
also as
eighty
part of
thousand and eighty thousand
yeah,
dollars.
sensational,
Some people working ain't gonna make $80,000 in 2 years. I just
sensational.
wanted to point it out. And the road march winner is going to go to the Nottingham Carnival or Leeds Carnival. Expenses paid.
I like I even saw today that the man put out like the criteria to will let you know where the judging points be, and I'll let you know exactly how much points you can accumulate, how much judges gonna be the places, all them things. And man, I'm good already. They got some ideas down there. Nevis Culturama. Even the video montage I've been speaking about, I watched a 4 or 5 minute clip of like the history of Anguilla, and then man telling you the thing me feel like a culture armor, and they telling you like for 400 years we've been here, we've been working the soil, and then you see the band music come on. Still on the song, I miss this one.
But it ain't even only that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. We got a right. I don't feel bad every time I talk about culture. But anyway, wait a minute. Check this. We got a culture page. Culture have a YouTube page. So they have platforms. They have the social media platforms. Why aren't we running reruns of past events, past Queen shows, past Mr. Cool, past Wet Fit, past Talented Team, past films? Why we ain't running none of these? Why we don't have reruns of these? So that you could actually build a vibe. A lot of people who was home in the last 5 years, then they would never, they probably would never see Miko perform again. Why we don't have Miko as a patron? His performances being shown on social media. We got the platforms. Why we not using them?
I discovered one of the reasons is because we have too many platforms. I was on the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation page this afternoon, and I
Okay.
saw pictures of the 1978 Queen Show contestants. I see 1987 talented team. I think they said that was the first year you had talented team. The first winners of talented team was Virgil Brown and Elsa Ambrister. I think it was her name, something like that. I would not want to go against them. That was hard as shit.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a tough one.
I telling you,
That's a tough one.
I see a video there of 1999 Culturama in particular. I see Juve Manning and I see Parade there. But when I was going through that, I was like, so why these are not up on the Culturama website? But it's like they're trying to have so many different branches that everything in culminating together at the same point. Everything is not central.
So I'll tell you. And I get that, right? You have the multiple platforms, whatever it is. You got a bunch of people ain't doing nothing. Put one person in charge of all of it. The same way how I run the shares and all the plat and and all kind of thing. In the middle of the show, how come they can't do the same thing?
Um, well, part of the reason is that sometimes when I'm giving advice to the premier, he's getting it in a very condescending tone. And I just purposely kind of do that because I just want him drag his feet. And when he drag his foot, not only could he see that me right for days upon days, sometimes weeks and months, but like everybody could see. So sometimes the rough tone is necessary. It's not like he gonna wanna do he wanna do it. Sometimes when the premier hears something, he's like, but I wanna do that then. But I need to think of a little twist so that they can say, well, bye, I just take it one for one. Then kind of weird.
Boy, listen. Anytime you get a good idea, me not care where it come from, me gonna use it. You think
Exactly.
I care?
You
You
know,
think I care where idea come from? No, the idea good. I got with it.
and that's how come me I say that's how come me I get in the free one too. Just thief everything might be Angola does do. Well, not even everything. Because some of them I need to really modify them for this, but there's some good stuff there taking place.
Let me,
Them and a
let me ask
beta.
you a question. In the app for Culture Armor, you could buy the tickets for the shows.
Yes.
Okay. And is there a bundle that you could purchase?
I
Like you could
am
purchase.
I am unaware if that is the case. No.
Go on the Anguilla app. You could purchase bundles, and you could
Indeed.
purchase groups. You could purchase groups. So let's say 10 Abby say Abby game, you could purchase as a group. I just wanted to tell you, you could purchase as a group.
Yeah. I'm also gonna be looking at the prices when it come down to it for this Angola situation. I wanna see how much them and the charge are going to. Man, you know what was good for Angola too? They have I think Nevis does the one too that where they got this kind of fitness workout story, but Anguilla they had an actual aim. I think they're aiming for like 5 million steps and 500,000 calories, but some kind of craziness like us, right?
Mm.
Them man involved with it does be like an hour and a half. Them man does like show you go live and show you where it be taking place. Um Me like how they even had some kind of lights thing there, so you're seeing green and red and man, I'm gonna do it.
Oh shit!
They're
But
doing
I just realized Triple performing live right now, boy. Shit, just pop up on my phone.
in
Yeah,
Dominica.
no, in St. John. Another free event, Triple K for free in St. John. Did they
Um,
understand how to
I,
do it for entertainment?
are you alarmed that we are 2 weeks away from the wet fed and there has not been anything said about anybody?
Um, I I bet about $50 today that the Wedford game flop. He asked me what I said. I said, trust me, the Wedford will not be what we are accustomed to. I just put $50 on the bet. The Wedford will
But
not be what we are accustomed to.
but it's simple. The formula is already there.
The
I've
family,
spoken about
the
what
family is
the
there, and I
formula is.
totally agree. The family is there, I totally agree. But again, like you say, you want to make a little tweak to make it their own. That's gonna be a problem.
And you see, that's how come me like to say what the formula be only a clap. So that they could go ahead and think of all of these jokey tweaks what they need to do when they just need to do it. Yeah. We should are
Is
savvy and should be part of the culture, of course.
no,
But always is keeping things stagnant. Man,
no,
Reese would have a
you,
lot to contribute. I
no,
must say.
and I'll tell you why it wouldn't work with me because, like you said, the old heads them, and me not back down for nobody. So you know, come and tell me should decorate the complex with no palm tree. That gonna be a problem for me. Hey, I feel them I need to do though. Honestly, them I need to get
Okay.
fireworks and culture. You see like how New Year's you got the fireworks show? They need to get fireworks to end culture. They need a firework display.
I would concur with that. I man, listen. I was gonna give some hope. I
They,
was
they,
gonna be
they need that.
I was gonna be optimistic about Swain, but I'm passing on Swain. I'm out on Swain. Mr. Swain, Evelyn, I wanted for you to like go in at the spotlight this year. I wanted the government, not me say the government. I wanted the people and them to see who is the man who won't be in charge of culture armor going forward. And it look like you just want to be in the background. So if you're not okay, I am with you. I with
Oh,
you.
and I,
Me not wait till next year. Me out.
oh, and I got something. I got something else to say too. I was talking about this with everybody the other day. These go lives that I got going on, right? Nice idea.
Mm-hmm.
We don't mind the go live business. But Mr. Fion Jones, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stop and listen to me. please listen to me. I'm begging you. Them button-up shirt, and them tight pants, and them church shoes, and them socks, left them home. Left them home. Go buy Rams and buy a shirt if you got to, but left them home. I don't want to see nobody look tight up. It's cultural time. Free up yourself.
I feel like the boss was working hard and the boss ain't get home.
I don't care.
That's how I look at the situation.
I understand. I don't look at it that way. Left them home.
I
Come
don't
free up
want to
yourself.
see. I agree with you though. Meanwhile, it is a loose environment.
And if you want to be like that, don't go in front of the camera. Don't go in front of the camera.
No.
Just stay in the back. Just stay in the back. We understand. We don't matter with you. Stay in the back.
No, I feel like if he take 3 shots of formula, then he will compensate for all of that and he will come back in.
But the man that hurt me hard. You know what
I like the contribution what the gym making. I just want everything. I want the aesthetics to be the correct way. It shouldn't be even when the premier was doing his thing and talking about like encouraging people to come for cultural armor. You would not see the same kind of invitation from Anguilla. It's the same thing what we're talking about. It's a looser. It's a more like, yo, come live line. In alignment clothes. You're not gonna be there in a jacket and tie talking about. Come on. Come on and experience the lovely culture armor. Oh my God. No.
Yeah, that. The other thing too, y'all put some money in Bungie Garland pocket and Fair Lines pocket and Triple K pocket because I had to pay high deposit. There's been no social media posts from none of them. I watch Bungie Garland got posts about Labor Day. I watch them and post about all kind of thing. But then I got nothing about the August 3rd event. Why spend our money on? Why really spend our money on? I don't get no kind of social media post. Jesus Christ.
Listen. And while we're talking about that, because I feel like this is part of why we ain't getting a sponsorship. Me can't give all of them hinting though. We go kick back something. But these things that y'all are failing at is the reason why when y'all go to sponsors, shit is not working out. There is no necessary win-win when it comes to y'all talking about the sponsor. And Mr. Premier, you go stop the commercial for people and got a man can't sponsor nothing. How you wanna tell me, Mr. Premier, you put on your good clothes and went down by Sequip, go do the commercial there. And this man really can't sponsor nothing, you, Mr. Premier? God of mercy. The amount of what building material the man don't sell. See you commercial and can't sponsor something. Lord, man. I want my premier come out of the lollipop stage. You understand? I don't want my premier be a sucker no more. No more lollipop.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
Anyway, I started to hear the rap up music here, so we
Hey, bless up, y'all.
Yeah, everybody have a wonderful evening.
Somebody else chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You tried to convince me it was all in my head, and I